Hi everyone. Welcome to office hours. Okay, I know I'm a little bit early here. I just want to make sure that I got the setup and everything right and that everyone can hear me and all that great stuff. So welcome to office hours for those of you who are here. Just getting my question area set up here. Great. Awesome. So today I'm going to be talking about company bucket lists and how you can build your own and why you should build your own. But we have a few minutes here still, so we'll hang tight for a little bit. But just so you guys know, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ariella Coombs. I'm a career support specialist here at Work It Daily. I'm inside our program all day long, answering your questions, reviewing your resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, all that great stuff, and it's so much fun. Honestly, it's incredible to see the drastic changes from a new member coming in with a resume that has all kinds of formatting and all kinds of unnecessary stuff, and then putting it in our format and then seeing that they get a job. Only 3 weeks later, we've had someone who just submitted a great success story this morning about that, actually. So it's a really cool place to be if you haven't checked it out. If you're already a member, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We do office hours every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's either with myself or with JT O'Donnell, who's our head coach, CEO, and founder. So today is my shift, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Just so you know, heads up, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so if I sound funny, I'm so sorry. I have my tea here in the event that I need it, but yes, so I'm hoping today is going to be a really great session. I'm really excited about talking about company bucket lists. It's something that's been coming up a lot inside our program, you know, why we need one, why it's important, and how to build one, you know, strategically, right? So I can't wait to talk about that here today. Office hours typically works, you know, I'll have a little kind of topic to kick things off. Today it's talking about company bucket list, but then we'll go right into your Q&A. So any questions you have about job search, the topic we just discussed, or career planning in general, please feel free to put those in the chat, and our moderator will feed them to me and I will answer your questions. Just so you know, we can't answer every single question posted. I wish we could. We only have 30 minutes for this session. If you want a guaranteed answer, you should definitely join us inside our program, because we make sure to answer all questions and respond to everything within 2 business days. Okay, so definitely check that out. But I will try my best to get to all of your questions today. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to get started here. Company bucket list. So this is something that we've been advising our clients to do since the beginning, all right? You know, it's very important for you to be intentional and strategic in your job search, because otherwise you're just going to be what we call spraying and praying, just applying to any job at any company, you know, with no real plan. It's a waste of time. And if you're looking for a job, you're definitely short on time, because you really want to get into that new situation, whether you're unemployed and you want to get that income coming in, or if you're unhappy at your current job, you want to get that new opportunity that's more, you know, satisfying, and it's a better situation for you. So there's no point in wasting time doing inefficient kind of activities in your job search. So it's really important for you to kind of build, you know, like a checklist of places that you're going to be targeting in your job search, because it's going to help you in terms of being strategic with who you network with. So you're not wasting time in networking, because that obviously is something that's going to take more time, and it's important to just be really strategic about it instead of being completely random. So more time focusing on the right networking, more time branding yourself for those opportunities, researching the right companies, the right industries, getting to establish yourself in this space, so that way you can set yourself up for an opportunity at one of the companies that you really want to work for, right? So a lot of people come to us and say, why do I have to make this list? You know, why can't I just go out and apply for any job? I just need a job, right? And you can totally do that if you want to, but you're probably going to be setting yourself up for another situation that you're not completely happy in, right? So it's important, if you have the ability to you know, make that checklist, figure out what companies you really want to be at, which ones you really respect or appreciate or admire, and which ones you'd be proud to represent, and then focus all of your energy trying to get into those companies, right? So we tell people that you should have a list of 10 to 20 companies, you know, in mind, so you can start networking your way into those. You know, you can be really strategic when you're meeting people at events or reaching out on LinkedIn. You know, you can be looking at those companies, you know, on their career sites, you know, daily, weekly, to see what opportunities are there. You know, that way you can really be focused in on the opportunities that you really want. So that way you're not hopping to another job after taking just any old job, right? So it's really important that you do that. Okay, so it's gonna really cut down time, it's gonna cut down frustration, and it's gonna cut back on those ill-fitting opportunities. That's why we advise you to create this list of companies, so company bucket list. All right, so in terms of how do you find these companies? We get this question, I say weekly, like constantly in our platform, on our social media, on office hours. So I figured I'd address it here today. Some ideas to help you kind of get that process going, because it's a little bit overwhelming, right? You create a list of companies. Great, where do I start? So a few places you could start, and this is kind of a very basic way, but it's still effective. People definitely do it, and they can start creating their list this way. But you know, start with the target location. Start with your area, your hometown. Go and drive around, see what is actually there in your town. You know, it's funny, you can drive by, like, buy something every single day and not even notice it until you really look for it. And so you might not realize how many companies are in your town that you probably even missed. So just take a look around. Just you know, drive through town, see what's there. You know, if there's anything that kind of catches your eye, or if you just want to write down every company and then go and look them up online after to see if there's anything there, absolutely. You know, this is a really great way to kind of get start exploring what is in your area. You know, another thing that you can do, and we typically advise against using job boards to find work. You know, if that's the only thing that you're doing, like, you don't want to just be focusing on applying to jobs on, you know, online job boards. With that said, they definitely still have their place in terms of finding opportunities. So I typically have people go through and use that, like, leverage their filtering system that they have on job boards, like, you know, Indeed or any of those job boards, and say, okay, I'm looking for companies in, you know, Boston, Massachusetts. You know, and you can really narrow down based on what's, you know, what's there. So you can look at the job opportunities. It could be completely random. That's fine. Focus on what companies are being represented in those results. And, you know, if anything catches your eye, go and do some more research. A lot of companies will include something about them in the job description. So go through and look at all those job descriptions, whether they're relevant to what you want or not, because they're going to have some information that might catch your eye and say, you know, maybe I should learn more about this company, and maybe it's something that I want to be a part of. Okay, that's a great way to leverage an online job board. Okay, so that's using that filtering system is a great way to start exploring and figuring out what you can put on your company bucket list, or at least to just get started, get the process going so you can learn what is out there. It's really important to just kind of step out there and start exploring things. Okay, visit your local chamber of commerce. Like, look at the directory. What companies, what organizations are listed on there that you don't know about yet? Do some research, see what's there. This is one that I constantly tell people is, what companies and brands are you loyal to already? You know, what are you currently a customer of, you know, in your town? What do you know, think about bigger brands as well. Like, do you want to be part of that bigger brand? Think about that. What are you already loyal to? Because you already have a great connection to that company. So it's going to be easy to market yourself for those opportunities. So what else? So you can also make a list of, like, hobbies or interests that you have, and kind of search based on what companies are in those spaces. So if you're really into, like, being outdoors and doing things outdoors, you know, look at companies like, what is it, Patagonia, or any of those companies, and see what opportunities are available there. Because again, you have a connection already. You're already passionate about the same things that they're passionate about, right? Another one, this is kind of more, you know, bird's eye view, I guess, but, you know, flip through, like, magazines, and you know, go online and see what kinds of products or services you really can get behind. This is kind of similar to what you're already loyal to, but think about what's out there that you love. Like, what are the brands that you love, products and services that you really appreciate, that you already understand the value of why they're there, and see what kinds of companies are tied to those. Okay, you might not realize it, but there could be a lot of companies in your area that, you know, serve this, service, or they offer this service, or they sell this product. You might not even know about it. So that's a great place to start as well. Obviously, look through your local newspapers, flyers, and that kind of thing to see what's in your area. Those are always helpful. And then finally, look at industry websites related to your field. So that way you can see if there's any companies in your area or in your target destination if you're looking to relocate, to see what kinds of companies are in your industry that you could potentially be a part of. Okay, and so these are some ways that you can start at least getting that list together, so you can do some further research to figure out which ones are really important to you, right? So you have to really just get out there and explore. Like take the blinders off and just say, okay, what am I seeing here? Like, it doesn't matter if it's related to my industry, it doesn't matter if it's related to the job I'm looking for. Like, let me just go and look at what companies are in my area. If I like the company, if I like the brand, are there any opportunities for me? Just kind of go and like use it as a kind of discovery period. And then you'll find like there'll be companies that really stand out in this list, and you'll narrow it down, and you'll narrow it down again, and you'll have 20 companies, and you'll have 10 companies that you really want to focus on. So it's really an important exercise to have at the beginning of your job search, again, because it's going to cut back on so much frustration, so much time, and again, it's going to cut out those ill-fitting opportunities. Okay, so think about what stands out to you, because it's really important to find a company that you have something in common with, that you have a connection with, because it's going to make that job, when you finally ultimately get it, more satisfying and fun at the times that it's not going to be fun, right? Every job has its challenges. Every job has, those slumps. And if you're in a company that doesn't really fit with who you are, you can't really stand behind the mission, or you don't really feel that proud to represent it, or anything like that, it's going to be so much harder to get out of bed and go to work that day, because you're not in a company that you respect or appreciate, and you're in a slump in your job, and so that doesn't really help. So being able to find something that will motivate you even when your job is tough is really important moving forward in your career. So ask yourself, when you're narrowing down your list, would I feel proud to represent this company? If so, why? Do I believe in the product or service? If so, why? Do I have a deep appreciation or respect for this organization? Why is that? Kind of tie that connection story to each company, so that way you have something to work off of when you're working on your cover letter, when you're talking to people who are within the organization, telling them why you're such a big fan of the organization and why you want to be able to contribute to that organization. Now, one thing I wanted to mention before I wrap up and we can get to your questions is that you don't want to choose companies based on just their benefits and perks, right? You have to really think about, the deeper connection, the mission, the reason they exist, shared values and beliefs, that kind of thing. If you're just focusing on, well, they have really great benefits, they've got some cool perks, they've got a ping pong table, they have free beer, and they feed me cereal every single day, that's great. But that's not going to help you get through those tough days when your job's going through some challenges and you're struggling a little bit. You don't care about the cereal anymore. You don't care about the free beer. You just want to be in a place that's going to make you feel satisfied every single day at work. So, it's going to wear off those extra perks. And, they're kind of like bribes. Obviously, they're nice to have, but that's what it is. They're nice to have. It's an additional thing that it'd be cool to have, cereal and ping pong in your office, but it's not something that's going to tie you to that organization. It's not something that's going to keep you there when times are tough and you want to be contributing to a more meaningful cause, right? So definitely take that into consideration when you're looking at companies. Don't just look at the benefits. Don't just look at the perks. If you're going through your list and you say, well, I want to work for this company because they have this and this and this perks, unlimited vacation, that's great. If you find yourself doing that, you might want to dig a little deeper to see if there's anything else. And if there isn't, you might want to consider replacing that one with something else. Because again, it's a nice thing to have. It's not a must-have in order for you to feel satisfied every single day at work. Okay? So I hope that helps you when you're building your bucket list. If you have any questions or if you have any other ideas to share with the team, the community, in terms of how to find and locate those companies to put on your bucket list, please share in the chat, because we're always looking for new ways to kind of create that list. We've got some really good ideas here, but if you have any specific ones that have worked for you that aren't on this list, please share in the chat. That would be amazing, because we love to hear about what your strategy is. Okay, great. So hopefully that helps. And let me get to your questions. Okay. All right, comments. Maybe ask our LinkedIn network who they think are the top companies in a certain space or what brands they love and why. I love that. That's a great way to kind of explore other options. Excellent, excellent suggestion. I love that. All right, question. I don't know which jobs to choose. Okay, so if you're looking for a job and you're not sure which kind of opportunity you're looking for, I like to tell people, start with, what do you enjoy doing? What are the projects that you enjoy doing? What are your strengths? What do people come to you for when it comes to advice? Start there and figure out what your strengths are and what your passions are, and then move forward. But also, I think a really important piece of job search when you're trying to figure out what type of job that you're applying to, that a lot of people don't really think about, is just being able to go and just explore a variety of job opportunities. Just allowing yourself to go out there, go on a job board, and look at random jobs and see if anything sticks out. If you'd enjoy these tasks, if you'd enjoy this type of work. If you don't, if you're just, I need to stay in this lane, I need I need to be able to come up with this on my own. If you give yourself those barriers, it's going to be very hard for you to explore and really find a job that's going to be a good fit for you. So I would definitely go, again, go back to those job boards and say, what kinds of job opportunities are available in my area and what kind of jobs are there? Kind of understand, are they sales jobs? Are they marketing jobs? Are they, understand what's out there and start exploring and seeing what catches your eye, what projects you'd enjoy doing, what tasks you're really good at, but you can transfer those skill sets to this type of an opportunity. Also think about, what else interests you? If you want to be you can also start with your company, right? If there's a company that you really want to work for and you feel so passionate, you really want to get there someday, you're not sure what job to choose, then just kind of stalk them. I hate to say it, but look at their career site and see what opportunities are being, listed on their careers page. See what opportunities, see what kinds of jobs are available. Go on LinkedIn, look at the employees there, see what kinds of opportunities are there, and say, are any of these jobs something that I can picture myself in? Okay, so allow yourself to explore a little bit, because it's going to help you see what you like, what you don't like. The other thing you want to do is network with people, talk with people, learn about their jobs. So that way you can get some real insight into their daily routine, their daily tasks, projects, challenges. So that way you can really understand from, behind the scenes what goes on and figure out if that's an opportunity that's right for you. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right. Ooh, question. I'm in panic mode. Finding work is very competitive. Right now I'm applying for anything. Money is running out and I only have a couple months left. Any ideas? So I totally, I understand this situation. This happens to a lot of people in our program. They come in, they need something quick. What I would recommend is to go and look at staffing agencies, temp agency, find some interim job to keep that income coming in while you find that permanent full-time opportunity that's aligned with your interests, that's aligned with your career. That's a great place to start. Look for something that's part-time to just kind of get things going while you're looking for something else. Also, really look at, go and look at your resume and pull out all of the transferable skill sets you can find there and say, what other jobs can these things apply to? Customer service, public speaking, project management. Pull out all those transferable skill sets and say, go and look at the job boards and say, look, what opportunities are available at this point? How can I translate my experience and apply for these? It's probably going to be for a lower level if you really need something quick, because the truth is it's going to be a little bit longer to find that opportunity that's really a right fit. If you go through our process, you really focus on your networking. You want to find something quick. You want to look at the staffing agencies, look at part-time work. something to just kind of bring income in. Think about consulting, something like that, to just have something for the interim while you go and look for that full-time opportunity. The other thing is, I would really lean on your network if you want to find something obviously quickly, and in your line of work, lean on your network. Say, hey, reconnect with people that you've been in touch with in the past, colleagues, family, friends. Say, hey, I want to reconnect. I just want to let you know, I am searching for an opportunity in this area, and I love to find a company that I'm interested in, contributing to. Do you have any suggestions on what companies or any opportunities that you've heard of that might be something I should look into? Okay, so ask them for suggestions. Go to your network, ask them for suggestions. They could pass you on to somebody in their network, make an introduction. They might have an opportunity at their organization. So many possibilities here. But you're not straight up asking them, can you please find me a job, or can you please get me a job at your company, because that's going to add pressure. And if you're asking them for a favor, could you suggest anything? Do you have any ideas? They'll be more willing to help you out in a pinch. Okay, so I think that's a really important thing to remember when you're networking. You're in a pinch. You don't want to just say, look, this is my story. I really need a job right now. And, if you have any opportunities, please let me know. That's going to put a lot of unnecessary pressure, and people are going to feel overwhelmed when they open that, and they're like, well, I don't know if we have any opportunities. I don't know how to respond to this. But if you're asking them, do you have any suggestions based on what I've shared with you, they might be more open to saying, hey, there's an opportunity here that I know of. Hey, let me introduce you to Joe. Hey, have you checked out this company? You should definitely look into that one. I think that's a definitely more reasonable way to kind of go about that networking and pinch. Okay, so definitely think about those things. Obviously, I know it's stressful, so keep your head up, keep moving forward. And again, it's so important to be efficient and really focus in on certain opportunities, as opposed to just going out there and going for everything. And if you have to, find something for the interim, just for a little bit, that will allow you the flexibility to go and focus on that full-time search. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay. Okay, question. If you want to relocate, I noticed that a lot of job ads specifically specify local candidates only. How can I even get my foot in the door with that opportunity if they only ask for local applicants? So that's tough. In this case, what you're going to have to do, if they're specifically asking for local talent, they're probably getting inundated by people too far away, and it's kind of a waste of their time, because they probably in the end have, it's probably a competitive opportunity, and they want to focus on who's there, who can be there and serve in the area. So what you want to do, if you really want this opportunity, is to explain that you're planning to relocate by a certain date to this area, okay, whether you are or not. Because if you say, I'm willing to relocate, they're going to feel pressure, and they're going to say, well, we have all this local talent, why wouldn't we just pull from that, as opposed to putting all of our marbles into this candidate who has to relocate toward us, and if it doesn't work out, that's horrible. So if you say right up front, I'm planning to relocate to this area by this date, and I'd love to learn more about your organization, I'm a huge fan, I'd love to find a way to contribute, that's a good way to get your foot in the door, because that way they don't feel the pressure to say yes or no right on the spot, because you're not there now. Okay, also the thing you have to consider is, if you're saying willing to relocate, in their head they're going to say, well, they're going to have me try to pay for relocation costs and that kind of thing. So that adds another element of, why would we hire this candidate when we have a whole pool of local talent here? So consider that, so you can put that at the end of your cover letter. I'm planning to relocate to this area by this date, would love to find a way to contribute to your company. On your resume, you can say, you can put your current location, but say in parentheses under that, planning to relocate to, city and state by this date. Okay, so that's going to help you a little bit. The other thing you want to consider is go and network with people who are within that company. Learn a little bit more about the company, establish rapport with people who are already working there, because if you have people vouching for you, it's going to make it so much easier for you to get your foot in the door, whether you're a local or not, because if they feel like you are really the right person for the job and you can really put your best foot forward using your skills and expertise, you know, it's going to give you that much more of an edge over the other candidates. Okay, so focus on your networking, and then explain that you're planning to really relocate by a certain date, even if you're not, because that's going to help you kind of get that conversation started. Okay, I hope that helps. Ooh, lots of questions today. Love it. Let's see. All right, question. Is a cover letter really necessary on every job application, such as on Indeed.com? So, great question. So, there are some online job boards, applications that don't allow you to attach a cover letter, which is too bad, because it's really your connection to that organization. It's really going to help you stand out over other candidates. But if there is an opportunity to include one, you definitely want to, because again, it is your opportunity, it's your story that will allow you to stand out. What I like to tell people is that your resume is for, you know, the highlight reel of your career. It showcases your most relevant skill sets for that opportunity, the depth of your experience and expertise related to that opportunity, and it really allows a recruiter or hiring manager to check off the boxes as they're going through the job description and they're going through your resume. That's really the tool. It's just kind of checking off the boxes to move you forward in the process in terms of your skills and expertise. Your cover letter should essentially be the voice of your resume. It should say what your resume can't say in terms of why you're motivated to apply for this opportunity. Why do you want to work for this company? Why do you want to do this type of work? Why are you motivated to do this job every day? And what service do you actually provide? Like, I understand the skill sets, I understand your expertise, but what is the problem that you solve in organizations? Not only is that going to help you stand out, it's going to really spell out for them why they should move you forward in the process, because you already know that you fit in with that organization, you get them, you know exactly what service you're going to provide as an employee, and you know that you've done it in the past. So, you know, this is a really, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You really want to have your cover letter whenever your resume is submitted, because they work together. Okay, so whenever you can include a cover letter, please do so. And more reason to not just apply on online job boards, because they don't always allow you to attach different PDF for a cover letter. They don't have a field to put in like your connection story, why you want to work there. Even more reason to circumvent that process and try to reach out to somebody on the hiring team directly via email or on LinkedIn or so on. Okay, it's really important to obviously follow the process that they want you to do. So if they direct you to apply in a certain area, you want to do that and you want to follow the rules. But at the same time, you do want to make that connection, because being able to share your story is, again, going to help you give you an edge over the other candidates in this situation. Okay, so great question. All right. Let's see here. All right. Oh, here's one question. I'm starting a new job on Monday and I'm really nervous and excited. Are there any tips or things I should be doing this week to prep? So first off, congratulations on your new job. That's very exciting. I obviously understand that it's nerve-wracking as well. So I would say that for your first week, what you want to do is focus on building relationships with your coworkers, figure out your expectations as an employee. So have a one-on-one meeting with your manager. Just get clear on your expectations for this role. Make sure that you know when and how to communicate with your manager, so that way there's not this back and forth, this inefficient communication, which can lead to other problems down the road. And make sure that you understand the milestones that you're expected to meet. So build those relationships, invite people out for lunch, make an effort to introduce yourself, smile, say hello to everybody in the office. I know that can be kind of nerve-wracking when you're meeting new people, but it's really important to kind of set that tone early on, that you are there, you're happy to be a part of the team, and you're ready to deliver. Building that rapport with your teammates, setting those expectations, that meeting with your manager, understanding exactly what's expected of you, how to communicate and when with your manager. And of course, if you had any questions early on about things, you want to make sure that you get those clarified early on. So also, it's a really great program that we have inside of Work It Daily. It's called the First 90 Days on the Job. I'm not sure if you're a current member or not, but if you're not, you should definitely consider looking at it, because we have a whole plan of what you should be doing step by step in the first 90 days of a new job, so you can set yourself up for success, because it's so important to deliver and really fit in within that first 90 days, because an employer can tell within that time period whether you're going to stay or whether you're going to go. Okay, so go through. I think again, the most important thing is really focus on building those relationships, getting those expectations clear, figuring out your milestones that you need to be meeting, and that kind of thing. Those are really the ground things that you want to understand. But our course is so in depth. I absolutely love it, and we work with people every single day going through this course to kind of set themselves up for success. Things like dealing with all office politics, setting up mentorships. It really covers everything, so definitely check it out. But best of luck when you go into your new job. It's going to be very exciting, and focus on those two things at least, very least, building those relationships and figuring out those expectations and communication expectations with your manager. Okay? All right. Well, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I know we have so many more questions, and I wish I could answer them all for you today, but it is 1:30 and our time is up. But if you need your questions answered, you should definitely consider joining us inside Work It Daily. We have, coaches who are ready and willing to answer any questions, review any materials that you have, to make sure that everything is perfect for you moving forward in your career. Okay, so definitely tune in next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be back here, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Thanks so much.